those who dare to fail greatly can never achieve greatly. Robert F. Kennedy.
Shifting gears, presented by the National Guard. Previously seen on Shifting Gears. In 2007, Dale Earnhardt Jr. announced he was leaving Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, the team his father had built from the ground up. The decision sparked a media frenzy never before seen in American motorsports.
I don't know if there was any doubt going into my mind that I needed to make a change.
Where would Junior go? Who would he pick to be his new boss?
I feel like this decision will give me that opportunity, and hopefully I can give my fans what they expect and deserve, and have a whole lot of fun along the way. And so today, it's a great honor to introduce my new boss for 2008, Mr. Rick Hendrick.
When he chose Hendrick Motorsports, he faced a whole new flood of questions. How would he get along with his superstar teammates? How would he handle the pressure of being with NASCAR's best team?
He's got to put that helmet on. He's got to focus, and he's got to think about winning races for his team and not let all those other elements floating around distract him.
Everybody talks about pressure like it's a bad thing, man. That's good. That's what drives you.
With the newly intensified expectations, push him forward or crush him. When the season began, hype turned into reality, and expectation gave way to execution. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s season began with a bang, winning the first 2 races of Daytona Speed Weeks.
All right! Good job, boys! What a race car!
Victories in the Budweiser Shootout and the Gatorade Dual 150s had the National Guard AMP team running big out of the box.
And the second checkered flag for the Sprint Cup cars in Speed Weeks, Dale Earnhardt Jr. again.
Good job. Built a good car. You'll probably eat listening right now. You'll build a good car.
For all the pressure that was on everybody to just come out the gate rolling and come out with a win, that was pretty special.
In the weeks that followed, Junior achieved consistency, but not victory. A 9th place run in the Daytona 500 was followed by a disappointing outcome in California. In the season's opening stanza, the 88 team always found a way to salvage solid finishes, but each week, a new problem prevented them from winning.
I've got no right rear. Big disappointment in run-in.
So has the season been a success or a failure? From the Great American Race to the All-Star Race, Junior's been a fixture near the front, with 4 top 5 finishes, 8 top 10s, and a 3rd place points ranking. But that first precious points win remained elusive, and as any racer will tell you, top fives are nice, but close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. After more than 70 races without a win, Junior Nation and Junior himself are getting anxious.
I think everybody knows we're due.
Spending his entire career with his family team, many wondered how Junior would fit in with his new family of teammates, crew, and sponsors. So far, so good. From a Texas pole to a wild night at Richmond, Dale has handled it all with pride, poise, and honesty.
If I'm not on the up and up and trying hard and trying to be sharp and doing what's right, this guy really doesn't have to keep me around, you know what I mean?
I think he's done great. I'm really proud of him. He had a lot on his shoulders, and he's proven himself. And I think he's going to continue to throughout the year.
He's winning right now. He's in the top 10 every race. I love it.
I don't think we can ask for a better season going on. I mean, heck, we're what, 8-10 races in, and we're third in points, 104 out? We're going for it. We are going for it.
He can win the championship and not win a race, and they'll still probably question it.
The vision in the rearview mirror is always 2020, but now that the season was underway, one question had to be asked. Was Dale's decision to leave DEI for Hendrick Motorsports the right move or the wrong one?
He's had a good year so far. You know, the deal of not blowing motors or what, just finishing the races and stuff. He's had a couple of bad races. He's had a bunch, 3 or 4 really good races too, and you know, I think he's showing what he can do.
I think he did the right thing, and I applaud him for making the decisions. We'd have loved to have had him with us, but I think for better for myself and him, if I'd have been 10 years younger, I'd have probably pushed it harder myself, but I think he made the right decision.
You know, at some point in everybody's career, they need to do what's best for them, and that's not what's best for everybody else. And I think it was, you know, that time came for him. He just thought that he needed to make a change. He wanted to try something different. And, you know, you can't ever blame anybody for trying to do better for themselves.
Working with Rick's been awesome. He's a great owner. It's been pretty good working with my teammates. We ran good at the start of the year, and we're pretty consistent, and we worked hard to measure up to their standard, or I did. And I wanted to get Jeff and Jimmy and Casey's respect as soon as I could.
We've had a good time, you know. He's blended well with the other guys, and we're having a lot of fun, and he's enjoying it, I'm enjoying it, so it's just been a whole lot better and a whole lot easier than I thought it would be.
Bringing Junior in, I've known Junior in passing over the years, but I've never worked with him. And so I really didn't know what to expect, and the same with Tony Jr. And those guys came in with great ideas, new ideas, desire, commitment, all the things that you would hope for.
To me, it wasn't a stretch of the imagination to be teammates with Dale Earnhardt Jr. I've always thought it would be something very cool, and it has been. And I like having them on board.
Everybody's been great. The more I get to know everybody, the better, the more comfortable I feel around them, and the more we can joke around and whatnot. Because I like to pick all the time. I try not to take anything really too seriously, except for just when I'm in the race car.
Right now, I'd grade it, if you was going from 1 to 10, it's an 8. I mean, it'd be a 10 if you had a couple wins, but, you know, realistically, we're sitting third in the points. Had a number of top 5 finishes, and, you know, everything's just been clicking.
I'd say right now we're 8, 8.5. Be nice to get a win, or have had a win. That would be pretty great. But I mean, we've been really consistent, so I give us a pretty good grade so far.
But racers race to win, and nearly 2 seasons after his last victory, Dale's offer was the hot topic of NASCAR Nation. Junior just takes it one lap at a time.
You surely can't be disappointed with the consistency and the performance of the team.
If you look at, we've run 12 or so races, I think, so far for the year. And if you look at, 71 races in totality that he's went without a win. You know, he's only gone winless in his new ride for 12 races. If you look at it that way, it's not that bad. 60 of those were at DEI, so I mean, how can you compare?
That car's run up front every week. It's led every race but 2, I think, and it's only a matter of time.
I haven't heard it much. I know a lot of people are saying it or whatever, but I don't really read, and I don't read online too much or read any of the articles. I think everybody knows we're due.
I say it's a lock. It's gonna happen.
If he wins one, he can win 2 or 3. I like to see him win the championship this year.
2008 had its ups and downs. At California in the season's second event, all the ups from Daytona were washed away.
That whole deal was a disgrace, an embarrassment. That race, and people won't remember how ridiculous that was that we started that race under them conditions.
The race in sunny Southern California became a 4-day exercise in weather maps, wet asphalt, and second guesses.
Just frustrating, man. The track ain't ready today. It was dirty and we rushed into this. It was a bad move.
Nobody was even running 80%. I mean, I hadn't even opened it up yet, and I'm just trying to look for the water, and Casey got loose. That one bugs me a little bit, that I didn't get the finish that I thought I should get.
Junior finished 9th at Daytona and 40th at Fontana. In an instant, his goals of consistency had been washed away. The legacy of the Earnhardt name isn't just about driving. His grandfather, Ralph Earnhardt, owned the cars he drove, and his father built Dale Earnhardt Incorporated from nothing into a Daytona 500 winner. The latest stage of that tradition is Dale Jr.'s team, Junior Motorsports. Every weekend, Dale keeps one eye on his number 88 Cup Series ride and the other on his 2 Nationwide Series teams. During a weekend like Vegas, it's a 200-mile-per-hour roller coaster ride. Junior Motorsports had 2 cars in the hunt at the end, but a wreck between teammates brought Mark Martin the victory and Brad Keselowski a disappointing 23rd place finish.
Brad wrecks a lot.
We've wrecked a lot of cars. The 5 car, you know, we tore up 2 cars at Darlington. We've wrecked 1 at Charlotte Test. Brad got 1 tore up at Vegas. So, you know, we've had a lot of wrecked cars to fix and having to build new ones to replace a lot of them. So.
When drivers wreck cars, the fans may love it, but for the owner, it's like watching money being thrown away.
Right now, we're really borderline stretching the dollar, and we can't afford to tear things up. We don't budget in the fact that we're going to wreck 6 race cars in a matter of 2 months. You know, that doesn't get budgeted in, and that shouldn't happen. It shouldn't be happening.
Driver, businessman, car owner, bar owner, track owner, media superstar, and all points in between. There aren't enough hours in the day or enough juniors to go around.
In May, it's been really, really busy because it seems like kind of everybody's requests kind of caught up with us, and we've been having to book things like they need them next week, and can we carve out some time and fit that in for next week?
Yeah, the one thing I guess that I don't like about this year is the schedule, and that's not any one person's fault. It isn't bigger or worse because of moving Rick's. Actually, a lot of the schedule comes from my own choices.
Each week, Junior hits the airwaves with his buddies. Junior. This week, he invited the boss for some behind-the-scenes fun.
This is Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Unrestricted.
All right, the first question I'm going to ask Rick Hendrick is, how am I doing, boss?
Doing the XM show, I get to have some pretty unique guests, and I get to have my friends on there sometimes, too. And I get to ask them questions that we would never have a chance to really ask each other in that kind of context when we're getting to joke around a little bit. It's pretty fun. Me and Rick had a good time with that.
I want to make sure that you guys show up.
Yep.
Show up on time. Show up on time with your game face on.
Okay.
No whining. No wanting to leave
So
early,
I got
none of that.
I got 3 things to do all at once. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, that's. If you do those 3 things in life, you'll be in good shape. Think about it.
Yep.
Show up. Show up on time. Show up on time with your game face on.
I get 2 out of 3. Is that all right?
Yes, that's close. We'll work on it.
He's a conglomerate on a roll, and while there was no race last week, Junior was busy opening his own nightclub in downtown Charlotte.
Barry Allen's going to be here in just a few seconds. Thanks for coming. Whiskey River is a bar in downtown Charlotte that we opened. Everybody knows the song that Willie Nelson sang, but that ain't really where it came from or where our idea for the name of the bar came from. It just, there's a lot of liquor there, and it's, you know, it's a river of it. But everybody seems to really like the bar.
During this year of change, Junior also decided to make some alterations at home. Just call it spring cleaning, Earnhardt style.
It was fun to be able to tear down my house. How many times do you think you have opportunity to do that?
Tried to take the house, and we donated a lot to Habitat for Humanity, and sold some things off to various people that were interested in some of the stuff and them helping us tear the house down. But Dale, I think, got on the bulldozer with Sonny one day, and I'm sure he didn't know what he was doing. He doesn't ride many bulldozers or tractors. The first time he rode his tractor out here, he got it stuck in the swamp.
Building a new house, it's gonna take a long time. Living in a loft right now up in my late model shop. Gotta be patient to get that house built. It's gonna take a long time. It's gonna be a mess.
Now let's go in it now that it's dangerous. Let's go in it now that the structural integrity is weak. Go lounge around in the winter. Yeah.
Some believe that Dale Jr.'s ties to his family are a little too strong. The critics say that Tony Jr. isn't right for Dale, that they're too close to do what it takes to get over the hump.
Well, me and Tony Jr. seem to be getting along pretty good. You know, I was really worried when we were going into this deal how he was going to deal with not working for my dad's company. I know he felt real close to my dad, so I was wondering how he was going to handle that. But he's really found a place of his own at Hendrick, and he sort of worked right in there, and he's part of the deal now.
You know, I think they work together good. Now, a lot of people don't think that. You know, you read stuff on the internet and all, but those two guys work real good together. Sometimes Dale Jr. is hard to get information out of, and Tony Jr. tries to beat it out of him. And Dale Jr. gets real excited when he's in the car. He's really pumped up. He really gets into it, you know, and a lot of times on the radio you hear a lot of arguing and stuff, but that's just those two.
It's pretty terrible how it drives. Well, we ain't that far off from where we started. I just keep moving the track bar down to make it get drip off the corner, and off the corner, and when you do that, you're going to get tighter in the center. So the biggest problem is you ain't got enough left rear spring in it, and there's nothing I can do about it now, so let's just try to make the best of the day. Yeah, I want to run fifth. I want you to run fifth, but bottom line is I can't change the spring running around there, so let's just concentrate on what you got to do to get you a top 10. Ain't gonna get that like this. I ain't good enough. Need to get better.
I tell you how good Tony Jr. is. My brother, who's had a lot of crew chiefs and hadn't won a lot of races, but I will give him credit for one thing. He said Tony Jr. was the smartest crew chief that he had ever worked with or had ever seen in the Sprint Cup garage.
everybody's got the same goal, trying to win races. And, you know, I think I'm surrounded by a lot of great people, you know, and there's a lot of people that wouldn't be able to take what Way Junior treats them.
It's also good not to fall further into the back of the top 10. I can't drive it no better than this.
I think I got bigger shoulders to carry that load, but, you know, as far as that, I mean, it's not one man's not going to change the whole thing. It takes, I mean, there's 30 guys on this team that come here each and every week to help us do this deal, and one man's not going to change it.
He knows when I'm pissed, he knows it. I don't have to apologize for nothing, man. You know, and he don't really either. You know, if he's mad, maybe I need to go home and think about it, you know, and figure out why he's mad. And because if he apologizes, I don't learn nothing. Same for him. But we just push each other really hard, you know. We want the best for each other, but we want the best out of each other. And there's nobody else to raise hell to. You know what I mean?
As the calendar turns into April, NASCAR turns to Texas, the location of Dale's first Busch and Cup wins, and where his popularity is as big as, well, Texas.
When the fans pump, you know, get excited, get pumped up like they do here, it really gets you excited and it makes you want to run good. But we're pretty happy with how we've run here in the past. We've you know, obviously it'll be a special place for me having those early wins, and hopefully we can always maintain a lot of good competition here when we show up.
A lot of exciting things early in our careers happened here, so you know, we run very good here last year and got caught up in an accident, led to most laps, and you know, just it's always you run really good or something happens. So you know, hopefully we can get that off our back and then actually finish it off.
Would the Lone Star State hand the team their #1 win? They got off to the right start, winning the pole to come out guns a-blazing from the #1 position.
Put it off. How was it? 28-28. They're not going to get that one. Yeah, they might. Good roll, man. Good job. Good car. Damn good work.
Texas Motor Speedway, the official firearm of Texas Motor Speedway. Dale, this is a $65,000 hand-engraved shotgun on behalf of Beretta Texas Motor Speedway. Congratulations for winning the pole.
Here at Texas, they make a pretty big deal out of winning the pole, so that's always a bonus and makes you feel like you put a lot of work into it. And you know, it's just a pride thing. I've not been a guy who gets a lot of poles throughout the year, so this is a great example, I guess, of how much better our season's going this year compared to my seasons and personally in the past.
But the speed from Friday didn't translate to Sunday, and Dale was frustrated by the lost opportunity.
There was one race where we struggled. It was Texas.
To get that 38, and then you'll be lucky dog for a little bit here. I have been chasing this 38 since I pulled out on each set of tires, Tony Jr. I'm doing everything I can do, buddy. All right.
We felt pretty good. We were fast in practice there, but I don't know, we kind of got it. The car just got away from us, and we couldn't figure out what was wrong with it.
Yeah, we're pretty disgusted with the way the car run today, but setup we had up underneath it, we was kind of locked into it, so he was pretty much loose all day.
Texas didn't bring a win, but the season's 7th race had the team on pace to make the chase. Headed to Talladega, the 88 team sat a solid 4th in points.
88? Yeah, you're right.
If there's a place to go for a boost, it's Talladega, where Dale owns 5 wins.
And he's going to run out of time. Junior. Straight wins at Talladega.
As the season continues, so does Dale's crazy schedule. Before the high banks of Alabama came the Kentucky dirt. The Paducah International Raceway is co-owned by Dale, Ken Schrader, and Tony Stewart, a 3/8 mile sandbox for grown-ups.
It's pretty fun, you know. I ain't never raced dirt, and I don't know if I ever will, but I wanted to get into track ownership on a lower rank scale, and that was a good opportunity with Kenny. And he's pretty good and smart with those type of deals and dirt racing and track ownership there at dirt tracks, and I thought it'd be good to work with him on it. It takes a little more time, personally. You know, you have to go there and check the place out twice a year, or two or three times a year. I do like watching a race or two, just like the fans do.
Thanks for having us. Good to see some of you guys sign autographs tonight. Look forward to this weekend getting us a win in Talladega.
After checking out his dirt track, Dale has to get back to Talladega to take on NASCAR's fastest speedway.
Down there by themselves.
I went into Talladega and we had to improve some things from Daytona that we felt hurt us and hurt our chance of winning the 500. So we went into Talladega and we were pretty happy, pretty good with the car. The car was fast, and it was good in the race.
In Sunday's Sprint Cup race, after battling for the lead most of the day, Junior and Tony Stewart got into a famous Talladega tangle.
Side there. Keep digging, man. That's 20 you got in your bumper there. Big wreck behind you. The one outside there. That's not your fault. That's the 20.
Junior showed off his driving skills and saved his number 88 car.
I saved it, though. Yeah, you did. I'm talking about. You did awesome.
But there was some damage that resulted in not one.
You guys got to get together and get that done. That was what you were doing over there. Go back, Dale Jr. We're going to try to do something to the left rear.
But 2 pit stops, sending him to the back of the pack.
With 10 laps to go, we had a restart. We're in the back, and we almost lost the draft. And me and James Murray got to talking on the radio through our spotters, and we forged a plan to work together to get back up there, and it worked. It worked for me. When we come toward the last lap or whatever, he banged into somebody and got a flat tire, but I finished 10th, so he would have finished 10th or 9th if he'd have hung on.
On May 3rd, things got rough in Richmond.
He's got him. I believe he's got him. Oh, he turned it.
No!
Oh, he turned it.
And it looks like the drought will continue.
Boys, I just tell you something. That ain't going to go over too good right there.
No, it's not.
To the crowd, Busch's intentions seemed a little suspect. But Dale Jr. displayed the maturity of the veteran racer and the man that he has become. He proved to be a calming force when chaos could have reigned, even after victory had slipped away.
I want to ask everybody, just try to do your best not to make an ass out of yourself. I know everybody's pissed off. That's okay. Just don't make an ass out of yourself. Yeah, let's just everybody be professional. You know what you got to do. Don't worry about him. We'll just, we'll take care of it when it's time.
I was really mad, and I really wanted to kill him.
Called Mr. Hendrick, and I was like, look, I'm tired of taking the high road. Can we just take a short detour, get off the high road for a minute, go down there and whoop his butt? But none of that happened.
As I was spinning out, like right after Kyle hit me, and as I was spinning out, for some reason I knew it was coming. Just knowing the type of person Kyle is and knowing the way he reacts to things, I didn't expect anything different than what happened right there. I would have actually been surprised had he raced me clean.
Yeah, I guess there's a rivalry there if that's what the media wants or if that's what the fans want to see, is something built up NASCAR and to make it the bigger, better sport, then that's what we're going to make it. So, we don't care.
That's Kyle Busch going for it. I mean, that's the way he does and everything he does. He's a hero zero. That day he was a zero.
We all know on a short track, when somebody gets underneath of you, heading down the back straightaway into the third turn, the guy on the outside might just possibly be in trouble.
When I get on the racetrack, I don't have a urge to go out and wreck Kyle or get back at Kyle or run into his race car or ruin his day.
I called Dale, and I was like, man, what are you going to do about it? We just can't let this happen. And he's like, Kelly, what can I do about it, And it's just always how he is.
You have to admire and respect the man. I've been watching him ever since he started driving. He is a perfect gentleman in his interviews. Hardly ever does he blast anybody.
People want reaction right after the deal the next week, and people want you to go out and make it right. Hell, man, you just gotta. I can't. If I go out there and wreck him, I might get parked. If I go wreck him at Darlington, at the first chance I can, or any chance really, everybody's gonna know it was intentional. All right, so there's 100 points if not getting parked for the week. And it looks horrible for Rick. It looks bad for my sponsors. Some of my fans don't like you to race like that, even though some of them would rather me do that. There's some of them that do appreciate you taking the high road and being the better man about it.
He had to live in the shadow of his father, who absolutely had a reputation of, wreck his mom if he had to win a race. And Dale Jr.'s not like that. Dale Jr. cares what the other drivers think about him. He cares about what the fans think about him.
I was just making sure that, we just act like men and take our damn abuse there and we'll get it handled and get it turned around and be vindicated down the road.
Kyle Busch has become one of the least popular drivers in recent memory. Meanwhile, Earnhardt is one of the most popular figures in NASCAR history. Demand is one thing. How you handle that demand is another. Marketing is the key to maintaining momentum.
The store sales have been off the chart, I think, everywhere, not just in the store here and brick and mortar, at trackside, internet. The fan support is tremendous. Fan base has been loyal, supportive. It's cool. I mean, it's just a lot of cool stuff going on right now, and it's interesting, and we're going to keep the momentum. We don't see it slowing down. Our assortment is relevant, and keeps on coming, which is good.
It's been phenomenal. It certainly exceeded our expectations of how people would transition from the Bud stuff to the green AMP 88.
In this past race, we're right above the ground, so we look down from the TV booth. I saw 88 Mountain Dew hats, shirts, and I never saw so much Mountain Dew going back and forth in the grandstand. That's why you want to sponsor Dale Jr. You got to be a great driver. You got to be a good PR guy, but you got to go out there and perform as well. And Dale Jr. can do all those things.
Crowd's great, man. Check it out.
When he speaks, NASCAR Nation listens. And when he opened up to ESPN, the magazine, his fans were given a chance to see inside the mind of their hero.
Nobody ever seen him that happy. I mean, he grinned his way through that entire announcement that he was going to Hendrick Motorsports. And the magazine wanted to know why. So I go to he and Mike and say, hey, they really want this story. And to Junior's credit, he said, no way, man, not right now. I got half a season to run. My guys on the 8 do not deserve it.
I really didn't want to do the story. We've done so many, big articles where we just delve into all these things and answer certain questions that we typically wouldn't answer or want to talk about. But I promised Marty Smith, who did the article, I promised him last year in the middle of the season that we'd do it. And when it came time, he's like, all right, man, I'm ready, let's do it. So we did.
We sat down in the gas station, and it was me and him and a tape recorder at a dusty countertop. And for nearly 2 hours, he sat there and addressed some of the most personal demons in his life and some of the most personal variables and aspects of his last 7 years.
Marty did a good job. I was proud for him. I've known him for a long time, and for him to get that opportunity, that was awesome for him. He lost his dad while he was writing the article. And we talked about my deal with my daddy for a while in the article, so it's crazy.
Helping him, he's not going to make it.
He won't have time. It's Darrell Waltrip taking the catcher's flag.
Yates tried to catch Waltrip late in the race.
The temperature was cool, wasn't real hot, and the car drove extremely well.
Racing at Darlington means honoring NASCAR's past. And on Mother's Day weekend, a chance to honor Mom.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., and he is accompanied by his mother, Brenda Jackson.
Mother's Day at Darlington is something they do every year. My mom doesn't go to many races, but she likes to go to Darlington and be included in with all the other mothers. It means a lot to her.
Well, this is about my 3rd year doing it, and I'm nervous every time, and it seems louder and louder every time I do it. So, but it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
Hey, Junebug, it's DW up in the tower, but you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, that car looks so great on the racetrack. How does she feel to you?
It's been great all weekend. Drive-wise, been pretty stable.
Love that car, man. To bring her home.
All right, buddy, I appreciate it.
Darlington was tough because we were, the car had so much more grip during practice and during qualifying, and when the race started, man, we were all sliding around, everybody was, and I couldn't believe the difference in the track. It cooled off and you thought it'd get better, but it got worse.
Back feels real greasy, on new tires especially. Rolled over on the right front, real loose on new tires. It gets tight after a while. Bike still feels greasy to me. All right.
You know, they say race the racetrack there, don't race the competition. You didn't have a damn choice that night but to race the racetrack. If you tried to gain on anybody, you just slipped.
As the Darlington lady faded into black, Dale held on to his third-place ranking.
We were a little bit off from where we've been running. We were real good all weekend. The car drove totally different, so I think we know why, and we'll take fourth. Pretty happy with the nuts off 5.
Dale Jr.'s love and respect for his sport is evident in his old-school ways and his special throwback paint schemes. The face of NASCAR's present loves to travel back into racing's past.
History is important to me. It's cool. You know, the history. When I look at the cars, they're cool. When I look at the drivers and their personas and personalities, it's cool to me.
Just kind of likes that blast from the past. Something about historical things and retro. I mean, he's a lot of movie posters, a lot of, he's a huge Elvis fan. It's always been a part of his life.
Well, I know that Junior is appreciative of where his family has gotten to, and I think it's just important to him to always look back and remember that and try to preserve it.
I think it's really cool. I mean, it's nice to be able to run those retro paint schemes, and really means a lot to Dale Jr. It means a lot to me. I mean, there's a lot of people in the stands never got to see that car run. So, if we can bring that back and just show the history of NASCAR, that's awesome. I mean, next week's gonna be even a lot better. You got the Buddy Baker Gray Ghost gonna come back out.
The Gray Ghost is kind of like a paint scheme that Buddy Baker raced. I think it was around for 79 and 81. And the car was silver and black, and the other drivers couldn't see it on the racetrack, so they called it the Gray Ghost. NASCAR made them start running Day-Glow duct tape on the grill so the drivers could see the car in the mirror. It was really, really fast.
This car and that driver have just won the fastest 500-mile race that has ever been witnessed on the face of the earth.
Paint schemes obviously are his baby. I know it's really cool for him because he likes to go back and look at the paint schemes, the Darrell Walter paint scheme, that Buddy Baker Gray Ghost car, and pull those back in because he's really passionate about the older drivers and the history of the sport.
Yeah, I mean, I wish that's when I raced. I'd rather had came into the sport, even though it was smaller and less populated and less observed. I'd have rather been racing at those times, and so that's part of that era piques my interest. Yeah, I like racing at Lowe's because we can stay at home and be around the house and see some family. We've been so busy lately, I ain't seen some of my family in 3 or 4 weeks, and it's good to be able to come back and forth and be at the house in the morning, be able to sleep in a little bit. It's real nice.
He won the 2000 Sprint All-Star race. He drives the National Guard in Hendrick Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports from Kannapolis.
All right, man, coming to the green this time by. Check about everything one last time. $1 million on the line. Do work.
I don't know if I like the All-Star race as much as I used to. Used to really like it, but the formats aren't appealing to me now. 4 segments of 25 laps isn't that much fun. What differentiates? There's nothing different, between the 4 segments. 25 laps, it doesn't make any sense. What are the segment 2 and 3 for? What are they for? I don't know. I like the old days when you had 10 laps at the end and you just threw it all out there, and those were awesome. 10 laps.
He fought that, and look at this. Dale Earnhardt
And now here's the big man himself, Dale Sr., giving the hug to his son. What a great moment.
Those 10 laps in the Winston, when there used to be the format that the last 10 laps were run, there wasn't a person there not on their, on their feet and anticipating something. And they don't have that with the format they got now.
Yeah, we just need to work on the camber a little bit and the rear weight, because it makes me so loose off when you got that full tank in there. Man, we'll be pretty good next week. Yeah, I got some ideas on some other stuff in here too that we're looking at. We just don't need to be playing with it right now. But yeah, we got us a real good race car for next week.
In mid-May, Dale Jr. was able to look back on the season with a smile. His team was third in points, with a league-leading 8 top 10 finishes, but win number 1 had been elusive.
I think, that win's right around the corner. There'll be more after that. I feel like you get to go to a lot of these places second time around. He's worked with the team, trying to make all that gel together. I think Dale will definitely make the chase. I don't see any reason why he can't unless some crazy luck happens. I think he can only get better and definitely, see us as a contender for the championship.
You know that if you're running top 5, you're going to win races, and that's really the goal that everyone has, is to be competitive week in and week out. And you're going to lose some when you have the best car, and you're going to win some when you don't have the best car. But if you're consistently in the top 5, you're going to have opportunities, and that's what that 88 car has done this year for themselves. And they're sitting there great in the points, and they're knocking on the door.
Our goal is to be in a chase. And, we want to win some races and win this championship. I think that's the biggest goal here. As nobody's expecting us to win the championship first year out with Hendrick, so that's my goal.
There's 2 ways this thing's going to go. He's going to start off like a house of fire, and that's what I thought when we went to Daytona. Won those first 2 races, I said, man, we're on fire. Or it's going to take to about the middle of the year. And now I see it as being a middle of the year thing.
I think we can run good the rest of the year, keep doing what we're doing, running in the top 5. We need to still be conscious of trying to get wins. We need to be more conscious of trying not to get impatient and wore out. The season's really long, and this is one of the tougher years that I've had as far as the schedule goes compared to my rookie season. And we really got after each other in my rookie season as it wore on and we wore down. We fell apart. We just got to be conscious of that and try to stay motivated and have a positive attitude around each other. Let that rub off on each other as a team.
When Shifting Gears returns for Episode 5, Dale Jr. and the 88 team get back to business. The Marathon 600-miler at Charlotte, where 400 laps bridge the gap between day and night. One of NASCAR's crown jewel events. An endurance race where drivers put away any nonsense about not being athletes. Then we follow Earnhardt through the long, hot summer. The White Banks of Dover. The Pocono Triangle. The Irish Hills of Michigan.
76 races since he last went to victory lane, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the winner at Michigan.
And California wine country. It all builds to the greatest track of all, Independence Day at Daytona. Shifting Gears is moving into high gear, and what a ride it's been so far.